Sorry. Got me being blissed out by this fantastic rendition of the Final Fantasy Crystal theme. Hey everybody, Foley, we're going to be playing a little bit of Final Fantasy XVI today as part of our Foley Plays Games a Bit series where we play newly released games for a bit. Final Fantasy 16 came out yesterday, so it's pretty recent. Before we get into it, as we usually do with new games, we take a look at the reviews. So currently, Final Fantasy 16 is sitting on a 89 as a top critic average over on OpenCritic and a 93% critics recommended. That's quite high. That makes it a mighty game according to OpenCritic in their tiers for, what is it, mighty good, fair, no, mighty, strong, fair, weak, I think is the way they go with it. They're mid-level, yeah, strong, fair, and then weak. Alright, anyway. So Eurogamer, 3 out of 5, IGN, 9 out of 10, Metro Game Central, 6 out of 10, Easy Allies, 9 out of 10, Games Radar Plus, 4.5 out of 5, Game Informer, 8.5 out of 10, GameSpot, 9 out of 10, Destructoid, 9 out of 10. So, there's a 6 out of 10 thrown in there and a 3 out of 5. And then lots of 9s, so what's going on there? Eurogamer's Edwin Evans Thirlwell, 3 out of 5 stars. A smart combat system straining under the weight of characterful but ponderous pseudo-medieval soap opera with some of the grandest bosses and dullest side quests in Final Fantasy history. So I guess if you stick to the main story, you'll have a lot of fun, but if you go off and do the side quests, you'll be bored off your face. Okay. IGN's Mitchell Saltzman, 9 out of 10. Featuring fast, reflex-driven, action-heavy combat, Final Fantasy 16 is certainly a departure from what fans may expect out of a Final Fantasy game, but its excellent story, characters, and world-building are right up there with the best the series has to offer, and the innovative active time lore feature should set a new standard for how lengthy, story-heavy games keep players invested in its world. Active time lore. I wonder if that is the same as Final Fantasy IX's feature, where it had a kind of... Final Fantasy IX has this sort of meanwhile thing. When you're going through the game, it'll pop up a little prompt to say, hey, something's happening elsewhere in the world. Do you want to see what's going on? And you don't have to. You can ignore it. But if you do, you'll get like a what's going on with other characters scene. I wonder if that's what it is. Okay, Metro Game Central, 6 out of 10. An excellent battle system shackled to a dispiritingly dull and long-winded fantasy adventure that takes an inordinate amount of time to say nothing of value. This person has clearly never played a Final Fantasy game before. Easy Allies, 9 out of 10, but it's a video review. Games Radar Plus, Ian Harris, 4.5 out of 5. It's the kind of gamble the Final Fantasy has happily made in the past so that the series may reinvent itself to execute the type of story its creatives want to tell. Time will tell if Final Fantasy 16 pays off, but history certainly supports it. Destructoid, 9 out of 10, Eric Van Allen, a hallmark of excellence. There may be flaws, but they are negligible and won't cause massive damage. So it sure seems like... Massive damage. It sure seems like people are either really against the story, or are kind of fine with the story, or think the story is good, but almost every review there is like, the combat is really good. So it seems the core gameplay we're in business for. Anyway. Just checking audio levels, everything seems to be okay, so let's get into it then. Shrinky dink. Creative Business Unit 3. What a great name for a studio. I think they're responsible for Forspoken as well. No, sorry, no, they're not. That's Lumen something Productions. Screen brightness, that's fine. Subtitles, fine. Graphics, oh, frame rate, yes. That is graphics or frame rate. Frame rate, always frame rate, kids. Especially, and if it's pretending or not pretending, if it's trying to be a visual alerts. Enable an on-screen waveform that provides visual representation of in-game sounds and music. What does that look like? Alright, I'm kind of curious about that. It's off by default, so I'm going to leave it, but I'm kind of curious about it. I might check it out myself later. Story focused. Begin the game equipped with several accessories that simplify gameplay, recommended for those players who are less comfortable with action games and wish to focus more on the game's story elements. Action focus. Be in the game with standard equipment. Recommended for those players who are comfortable with action games. I think I'm comfortable with action games. I am a huge fan of Devil May Cry, after all. I think we're good.
It was Moss the Chronicler who said that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals. That it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Okay, getting off to a start here. Phoenix and Ifrit. Or Ifrit. Dive bomb. Might want to step to the side there, Ifrit. Oh. No, just take it full force in the face. Actually went through the ground with him. Impressive. Alright, we got some big Balrog action here. Ow, 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 ow. Who are we up for here? Okay, we're playing as Phoenix. Fireballs on Ifrit feels like a waste of time. But with him being like a big fire dog thing. It's extremely difficult to tell when he's attacking. Ah, well, got me that time. Oh, this is very Lord of the Rings. Get off. Oh. Oh, oh. Also, killing Phoenix also seems kind of a waste of time, too. Phoenix, they're just gonna come back. Whoa, weird dream. Or he's having like a daydream? Just makes up shit, makes up cool fights, that's what I do. That's not weird, right? The Niza Defile, the Dalmatian Republic. Got a little something. We've also got a little something. About this guy. We've also got a little something. Yoshitaku Amano back to do the titles.
Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else? Where's the fun in that?
Masayoshi Soken, fantastic.
How do we
composer.
even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind.
We also have a little something. I know. Well, it might actually be stuck to us. Try to rub it off there. How come these guys have all the same armor, but we don't? Combat director Ryota Suzuki, which means I'm pretty sure he's the Devil May Cry guy. Or one of. It's not like Devil May Cry 5 was done by one person. He's certainly part of it though. They all have the sword on their hip, they all have the same kind of armor, we don't. And we have the sword on our back. I could just be chalk this up to main character design, or maybe there's something different about our character.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
said focus, Wyvern.
Yeah, I'm focused. You didn't say move. You just said focus. Alright. Use. I hate it when games do this. Why is there a lens flare? There's no camera, you know? I mean, there is technically a camera because that's how video games work, but there shouldn't actually be. Wait, did a new a full Final Fantasy game drop? Sure did, yesterday. Press the button to go to the main menu if you like. You can change the gameplay settings also there if you want to. I hate it when there are lens flares.
All hell is about to break loose.
Yeah. Look, nothing's gonna happen until I get there, so just calm down. I'm the main character, they can't move the plot forward without me.
Time to move.
Dang, I still haven't finished 10. I gotta get a move on.
Just in time.
10, 10-2, and skip 11. 12, 13, 13-2, 13-3. 14's gonna take you about 10 years. 15. Republican Army front lines. Oh! Should have brought a shield. That probably hurt a lot. Actually, probably didn't hurt at all. I think it just killed him immediately. Chocobo Cavalry. Whoa, incredible vertical leap. Throw the magic rock. Lens flare, motion blur, bloom, and chromatic aberration all should be illegal. Motion blur actually serves a purpose. I think it's overused, but it does serve a purpose. For low-end PCs, it still lets them put out decent graphics. And for some people, I find it difficult to focus on action when it is moving very quickly. It does have an accessibility end to it. Chromatic aberration should... These kind of things should only be okay if it's a first-person game and your character has something on their face. You know, they have a visor, or you're a robot, or something. Zernitra Stronghold.
To the gates! Quickly!
I see Final Fantasy continues its tradition of having impronounceable names.
Did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
I know the guy at the back anyway.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
Big dude at the back is Titan. I've seen him in the trailers. I think she's Shiva? Maybe Garuda? Or maybe not, because that was clearly fire. Look, dude, you don't have any design at all. Clearly, you need to know your place.
That you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall,
Oh,
the capital will lie
know your
exposed.
place, Chief.
And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which just leaves me.
Hopka!
Is that his name or a slur?
Blood will rule the the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
Well, that was easy.
You cop.
Benedicta.
His head is bigger than her
care.
chest.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
Sure, I'm glad you had me hurry up to get here.
The front lines
I'm
are
fucking
gone.
sitting here for 10 minutes now.
This is our chance. The chaos will conceal us.
Yeah, let me have a look. Let me have a look. Okay. Oh, those guys are fast. Yep.
And quick and deadly.
As always. Take the van.
We have a van. Why are we walking this whole time? We have an all-terrain van. That's what ATV means.
Wait. Something's not right.
Do all Final Fantasy Pro tags use two-handers? No. He might actually be the only one. No, Cloud, obviously. Uh-oh, there's Titan. Cloud, Squall,
So the Darmax finally grew tired of
Zidane doesn't necessarily. He does have a Darth Maul weapon sometimes. Usually it's two daggers. Titus is one-handed.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Come on.
Van can use anything, I guess, because it's a license board thing, so you can kind of do whatever you want. 13. Lightning is a one-handed sword. Noctis in 15 has a one-handed sword as well, but again, he can use a lot of different weapons. And I don't know the Final Fantasies older than 7 that well. I don't think Terra uses magic, so I don't think she even has a weapon. And then Kane from 4, I think, uses a spear. Bart's is a sword, one-handed sword. Forgot about Zidane and Titus, yeah. One-hander and no shield. He has a buckler or something, right? Or his left hand is like a cestus. It's like heavily armored. Alright, I kind of like Shiva more than Titan, but I don't think she's going to win this fight. And also, I don't actually think Clive... I actually don't think this is a two-handed weapon, despite it being quite large. I think he uses it as a one-handed weapon.
You don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
Why do you keep calling me that? I think it's like Dante, right? I mean, his sword is technically a two-handed weapon, but he does like offhanded every now and then. Alright, well now what? No yeeting myself into the abyss. Alright, so we're going this way, so. Never mind. Maybe I am yeeting myself into the abyss.
Right on top of us.
Although we are here to kill her, but I don't want to kill Shiva. I really like her storyline in Fantasy 14 as well. 15 has a kind of interesting setup for her.
Anytime, Wyvern.
Look, the game keeps locking me and stun locking me, okay? Give me a minute.
You just gonna stand
Yes.
there?
No, permit me to jump off this cliff instead. Alright, I think the choice has been made for me. Ow. Yeah. That's one guy down. In a world with no fall damage, one man breaks both his legs.
Wyvern!
No fall damage, but there is a kill plane.
I told you before, you do not get
Well,
to die
throw
here.
a phoenix down on me. Get me back up. What about that guy? Is he allowed to die here? That's a very red rock. We've no fall damage, and also we landed fully on the sword.
Clive! Get up, Clive!
Flashback humor? Flashback humor. Hey you're finally awake. 13 summers earlier, year of something. Rosalith in the Grand Duchy of Rosaria.
Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
Listen,
I'm sure he'd find
shithead.
a way. My brother always
You're
looks
fully
after me.
armored, and I am not.
Right!
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now!
Two
Looks
arms.
like, is he Thor?
It wouldn't do to disappoint the gallery.
Alright, I just need to know, does Clive take lessons from Dante, and does he know how to do a stinger? If he knows how to do a stinger, you're in trouble.
Let's start again from the beginning. Come, show me your form.
The Lord Commander, that doesn't seem very fair. Right, press the button many times. Got it.
Good. Again.
Am I so predictable? He's like, yeah, just attack me, but whatever, it's fine. I'll block it.
Very good. Such swordsmanship will serve you well in the field. But can the same be said of your spellcraft?
I've always gone full melee.
Burn within you. Now let them burn without. Come, Clive. Rain fire down upon me.
Yeah, light me on fire. Come on, I can take it. Land a fire spell. Press the button to do fire. Got it.
Excellent.
Look at this guy just tanking fireball. Yeah, whatever.
Well done. You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me, my lord.
Or would you rather I flattened you? Can be arranged.
It's your best shot.
Let's see if you can elude my blade. After all, your attacking prowess will count for naught if you don't live long enough to use it. On your toes, Lord Rossfield.
Okay, run away, got it. Press the button to evade. Evading an attack at the... Okay, so there is like a just evade.
Oh, come on!
Oh, what? Precision evade doesn't count?
Oh, to be so young and fleet of foot.
Nice try!
Good. Remember, Clive, your blade is not your own.
You can also
weapon.
use your ass.
Quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable arms in any shield's arsenal. But you are not just any shield, are you? Show me what sets you apart from the rest.
I can juggle.
You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me.
What, some kind of dash?
I'm waiting.
Phoenix Shift. Iconic feats. Spelled weird, but it's pronounced the same way. The blessing of the Phoenix grants Clive the ability to perform feats of inhuman strength and dexterity. Phoenix Shift is one such iconic feat. Press circle to swiftly close in on a distant target. Both melee and ranged attacks can be used while executing a Phoenix Shift. Okay.
Impressive. But even the most agile shield cannot hope to escape every blow.
Ah, watch me.
And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall.
Play the game on easy mode.
Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished. Speaking of which, my lord, you seem a little worse for wear. Now that won't do at all.
Mend your wounds. Consumable items such as potions and tonics can be used to restore Clive's HP or temporarily boost attributes. Consumables can be assigned to the D-pad via the items. Nice. Right. Cool. Potion. Up.
That's better. Battle is a succession of pivotal moments, wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke. You must be ready to utilize every tool at your disposal if you are to navigate a path to victory, or at the very least, to ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test. You've recovered from your soaking, I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
Hilarious.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rossfield.
Yeah, spar with the Lord Commander. That seems
If you
fair.
believe yourself worthy to be called Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
As you wish, my lord.
Cool. I'm just gonna turn into Phoenix and kill you, okay? How's that sound?
How that, me boy? Make proof of your strength.
We got that Final Fantasy battle music, alright. Breaking an opponent's will. The will gauge indicates an opponent's will to fight back. Break their spirit by landing attacks and strike them when they are vulnerable.
Go on, you're sure to beat him this time.
You can do it, Clive. Just stay calm.
Okay, you can't dodge a Phoenix Shift. That's what I wanted to know. You also can't dodge away with Phoenix Shift.
You're taking this seriously.
Keep going, Clive.
Come on.
I got out like he's trying to dodge a Phoenix Shift. Stagger! Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him staggered. Try dealing as much as you can before he regains his senses. Use R2 and square to execute Rising Flames, a powerful iconic ability granted Clive by the blessing of the Phoenix. So this is juggle, I guess.
own advice. I used all the tools at my disposal.
Go on, Clive. Keep pressing.
Just a little more. We believe in you.
You're a damnably quick learner, Lord.
No, you do not get to finish your... Ah, I love it. Victory fanfare.
He won! See? I told you he could do it.
Aye.
Bested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy of your father. You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise. Including me. What are you lot gawping at? Back to your drills.
Pass out. Ah, performance enhancing magic.
I was just tired. The Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why.
That's why. You were coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
I'll be fine. It's just a cold.
Don't push yourself.
His Grace has returned!
Father's back.
Hey.
Your Grace, please, this is no place for one such as you.
I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Thank you, Your Grace. We live to serve.
Joshua,
Yes.
you should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Come, Joshua. Your father
Are
will
we,
be
are we
expecting
not her
us.
son? Is that what the deal is?
Lord Murdoch?
Your Grace.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
I see. So what? I'm the eldest, but I didn't inherit the Phoenix. Is that what it is? Silver chocobo. Silver chocobo for daddy.
Rise, my friends.
Welcome home, Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust.
I know his voice from
Yes,
somewhere.
Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the...
Are there ever
Bellevue
horses in
Spa.
Final Fantasy?
Is that so?
Possibly the first one, because chocobos weren't introduced until the second one.
Quiet, Torgal. Stop it, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Not now.
Bork.
You'll make a fine
Bork, bork.
hound one day.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Yeah, I don't think there are. I can't think of that. Once again, I don't know the games
Capital
from
rejoices at your
7
safe return,
backwards.
Your Grace.
6 backwards, rather.
War is coming.
7, no.
You must
8,
make ready.
9,
Is the situation truly
10,
so grave?
no.
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Horses only, yeah, they do show up as enemies. Ixion is a horse, does he count? Is he 10? Or is he a unicorn?
Dismissed.
Some sort of rhino dog. Bork. Bork.
Torgal.
I'm trying to think in 14, but I don't think so. I haven't played all the 14, so I don't know.
Clive here is off to see the
12.
Archduke.
No.
Right.
13. There are barely chocobos in 13. Sunrise, sunset. The cat's in the kettle with the silver spoon. Yes, we have no bananas. Finding your way. Should you find yourself lost, do not fret. Hold the button and trust in your animal instinct to point you in the right direction. Animal instinct tells me how to get to the Count Duke. The chocobos killed off all of the horses. Lucky it was them or the horses.
Is trouble brewing?
Isn't it always?
I'm not sure. I need to speak with Father.
The Ironblood are skilled warriors. You could learn a thing or two from them.
Not after they've been burned to cinders by the feet.
All right. Let's get...
Finding items. You saw potions.
The Duchess calls for our heads.
Make sure all the crystals are accounted for.
Yeah, fruit.
Good as new.
Forgive me, Lord Marquess, pray do not concern yourself with this bungling cur.
Lord Marcus.
Fool. Did I say to speak?
It was no trouble. Really.
Oh, do not indulge him. To be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind
Okay, cool.
him
Final Fantasy has
every
slavery
day.
now. Good to know.
Stand, please.
Stand.
I trust his good fortune will continue.
Of course, if that is your lordship's wish.
Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
As do we all, my lord.
As do we all.
Come along now. Back to your duties.
Party member? The bum? I know the dog is a party member eventually. And possibly this woman?
Looks like they're getting ready for supper.
What the hell's going on here?
Someone's hungry.
It's just that okay, this is a weird way to do a well, but yeah, there's like a Water crystal. Interesting.
Wheat harvests down again.
Nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
Too quiet.
There's Joshua.
It's like Joshua, there's a glowing thing over here I need to pick up. Playing far too much Dark Souls. Oh, it's not a glowing thing. He's using magic to... He's using magic to trim the hedges. Okay, well, that's a use for it, I guess. Not a great use. Wait. Are the mages the guys with the mark on them? Yeah, he's got a mark on his cheek. He's got a mark on his cheek. What about you? Nope. Alright, I think that's a thing. It seems people with magic are enslaved. I mean... Hey, you're a slave now. No. Explode? Like... how do they enforce this? What an incredible waste of wind magic. Okay. Back my dog.
Clive,
Are you worried about the war?
the soldiers will expect the Phoenix to help them, but I don't know if I can.
Don't worry, Joshua. Father will guide you. And I will protect you.
How I'm gonna protect him from Ifrit.
I know. Thank you, Clive.
Or Ifrit. Right, what does animal instinct look like? Okay. It's fairly unobtrusive.
That child is the future of our nation. He must be protected. All other concerns are insignificant.
Duchess Annabella, who I'm not allowed to talk to. Making an effort. Some large gates with stiff levers require extra effort of Y. Use X to ask and then the button. This is just a loading screen. Don't grind your swords, boys. Blacksmiths work for a really long time to keep them sharp.
Good luck.
Bork, bork. Swords are really heavy. Can you walk in the door, please? Oh, that's a throne room.
You commanded my presence, Your Grace. How may I serve you?
All right, you can stop licking my boots. Your mother isn't here.
Do the territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the Blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
By the flames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south to Port Isolde, more would only
How
follow
many
in their
games
wake.
lately have had some kind
Every
of
day we delay brings
climate
us closer to
catastrophe
disaster.
as their main
We
thing?
must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first.
Rodney. Lord Rodney. Brilliant.
You will have heard the reports, I'm sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Phil
Goblins in the
Beastman.
Stillwind Marshes. I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men. While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it, and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
I feel like he probably needs a tool for that.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother
Conspiracies. I can hear you, you know. This all is very echoey.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
That will be all. Rest well.
I wonder
Be right
if
at dawn.
the symbol crosses his chest, because it's
Your
actually
Grace.
kind of like the Final Fantasy 16 logo. Wonder if that's on purpose. Active Time Lore. Hold the button to access Active Time Lore feature. A compilation of important information relevant to Clive's current storyline progression. ATL can even be viewed during most cutscenes. All ATL entries can be accessed later in the game. Oh boy. Okay. Rosalith Castle, situated in the heart of the ducal capital of Rosalith. It is from the towering ivory fortress that the Archduke and his family rule their nation. Wow, he lives in an ivory tower. Brilliant. An architectural feat the founder himself would be proud of. Capital F. The castle has stood since the early days of the duchy and watched over the rise of this proud nation and the people who inhabit the city beneath. Okay. And the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, a nation occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm, with Rosalith as its capital. Rosaria was originally formed from a collection of smaller dominions, all of which now stand united under the banner of Archduke Elwyn Rosfield. Daddy. Not possessing a mother crystal of its own, the duchy has long been locked in bitter conflict with the Iron Kingdom over possession of Drake's Breath, which lies still further to the west in the midst of the boiling sea. Okay, Daddy. Elwyn Rosfield, Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua, loved by his people for his steadfast leadership both at home and on the battlefield, which he put to good effect in quelling the rebellious northern territories. Is he fucking Stark? Eddard Stark? The Mother Crystals, enormous glassy mountains, 5 of which tower over the lands of Valistea. They are the source of all the crystals that the people of the Twins rely on in their everyday lives. Not only that, but the lands surrounding them are rich with ether, making the magics with a K, the crystals cast even more potent. For these reasons, great nations have sprung up around each Mother Crystal and have long warred with each other for possession of their blessings. These are the baddies, I think. The Iron Kingdom, also known in the local tongue as Haebran? I'm going to have to hear that pronounced. The Iron Kingdom is an archipelago nation situated off the west coast of Storm, with its capital at Crag. It's probably Crag, and then no idea. The Mother Crystal, Drake's Breath, rises from a volcanic island situated just within or without its borders, depending on whom you ask, and has been the subject of long-standing conflict between the Ironblood and the neighbouring Duchy of Rosaria. The Iron Kingdom's inhabitants shun any contact with outsiders, which has given rise to a unique, if largely inward-looking, culture. It's pronounced... it's pronounced... Yes, absolutely. Retire to my chambers. I have chambers? How do I get to... Oh, okay. It's gonna be a climb. I assume I leave? Oh no, that just goes back outside. I must have to go this way. Don't mind me, I know how to get to my own room. I definitely know how to get to my own room, guys. Definitely. Don't look at me. I know how to get to my own room. I'm not drunk. Stop me from going to my own room? No messages.
No messages, my lord.
No emails. But we don't get to fight the goblins because we get attacked on the night? In the night?
How long will you be away this time?
Not long. 4 days, maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua.
Well, I can't exactly leave
I
him
wish
behind,
I was a young, handsome, sexy
can I?
prince. Yeah, I wish I was any of those
The
words,
Rossfields
honestly.
runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the
what?
apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way!
Apothecary, what is that? Is that an actual thing, or did they just make it up?
You think I don't know that?
Pod.
But the boy is also the Phoenix.
An apothecarium is apparently
Heir
a
to the
thing.
throne.
Apothecarium.
You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Apothecarium in ancient Rome, the apothecarium was the primary entry into the
Don't
public
worry.
baths.
Clive will watch over him.
Okay.
Though he is a youth of but 15 years, he's
What
already a
about an
fine
apothecary?
soldier.
Is that a thing?
Will make a splendid shield.
No,
We've
that's only
seen
Final
more in
Fantasy is the only
him
thing
than
that's
the
referenced here,
Phoenix
so
did.
maybe
He
they're
was
making up
protected,
the
Elwyn.
name.
Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless. A man like any other.
Wow.
As am I, my dear.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken
nepotism.
before
Love
his
it.
time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in
Clive,
its
the
right
firstborn son,
place.
too?
Unlike some, you have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
Sleep on the couch. I know that, look. Assassination is in the way. Is in the way. Ting? Things? Yes. English.
This is it then. Time to
We'll
prove
start by
yourself.
not falling off the balcony.
Wishing on a star.
I'm a little old for that. I should get some sleep.
Right.
So we're 15. How old is this girl?
You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him.
When did we swear though?
He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive, you...
I have another mission too. Father has
More
given me my
nepotism.
first command.
Well, if you're not going to pray to Metia for your safe return, I shall just have to do it for you.
Which one's Metia? Big one or the red one? No worries, Doom Training. Thanks for stopping by.
There's going to be another war.
I think there is
Isn't
one
there?
right now. They just don't call it one.
Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
No. The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive?
Well, this is a
You're Shield
flashback,
of
so
Rosaria,
I'll be
after
okay
all,
for at
and
least 10
blessed by the
years.
Phoenix.
Overhand?
It's getting cold. We should go in. My lady.
Milady.
Good night, Clive.
So I want to know what the weird red dot is beside it. Should I be concerned? Is this a Final Fantasy VIII situation? Are we going to have a lunar cry halfway through the game that isn't explained? And now suddenly the game has just gotten very hard?
Sorry, Ambrosia. We won't be hunting today.
Ambrosia, the silver chocobo.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
What's the, like, minimum distance when you have to bow to nobility? Like, she's far enough away that she could see him, but she didn't bow. See, Joshua didn't get a silver slash white chocobo.
Phoenix Gate. May the blessing of the crystals go with us and shield the Firebird's flame forevermore!
This guy, he's got a spear and a giant axe.
His grace departs. Open the gates.
Don't grind your sword. Also polish your sword. Not in a euphemistic way, like literally polish that sword. Then in the euphemistic way later on.
Lord Rossfield, allow me. I shall see her safely to Phoenix Gate.
Thank you.
Alright, I guess we're not going on the horse. That's... You my red shirts?
We're ready to depart, my lord.
May I say what an honor it is?
You may
to
not,
serve
you're being
alongside
condescending.
you.
I as well.
This is to be no mere investigation. If there are goblins in Stillwind, they
Got
won't
those.
leave willingly. The beastmen are a fierce foe. We underestimate them at our peril.
Now, which design for the gobos are they going to use? Final Fantasy 15?
Sir Wade, Sir Tyler,
Are
let
they
us do our
wearing...
duty.
Are they wearing
pleasure, my lord.
skin-coloured
As you
tops?
command.
Or do they just have their arms out?
To the marshes then,
I think they just have their arms out.
and may the blessing of the crystals go with us.
I meant to say that part loud, Cliff. Oh, what? The world map displays all the locations indicated. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so... I mean, technically it's a world map, but... When was the last time they had a proper world map? 9? Nine, I think. The last time they had a proper world map. Stillwind. There was a time not long ago that the songs of civilization echoed through Stillwind's knotted bows. Now the settlements lie abandoned, and the only sounds to escape this forsaken place are the howls of beasts that have fled the Deadlands to make the bogs their home. Cool. It's fucking Blighttown. Great. Stillwind in the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. So active time lore. Does it still work? Oh yeah, it updates. Okay, so Stillwind Marsh. Different to what it says on the map too. An area of swampland that stretches northeast from Rosalith Castle. The odd village could once be found here, but nothing to compare to the lively settlements that line the main roads of the realm, and with the encroachment of the Blight and the creatures driven before it, even these scant settlements were soon deserted. Right, lads, Sir Wade. Otherwise, Shield of Rosaria, chosen by Lord Commander Rodney Murdoch to accompany Clive on his expedition to Stillwind. Once but a low-born page, Wade was inspired to join the ranks after a woodpile fell on him, and his life was saved by a young Joshua. Okay. Loyal Rosarian, scion of a noble family, Tyler followed in his father's footsteps in entering the service of the duchy, rising to the position of right-hand man of the Lord Commander. He was chosen by Lord Murdoch to accompany Clive on his expedition to Stillwind. Level head who could be trusted not only to obey the young Lord Marcus's orders and keep him safe, but to help keep the fiery Sir Wade in line. Okay. And Gobos. Goblins, a common species of beastmen. While at first glance they may seem like mindless predators, goblins have their own unique language, Goblin, and are skilled enough to cast magics and make rudimentary tools and weapons. While mostly found on the continent of Storm, the spread of the Blight has forced them to find homes nearby human settlements. A move that oft ends in misunderstanding and bloodshed. Like it's about to right now, I'm guessing. Okay, if you had to carry an axe on your back, would you rather it up near your head or down near your ass? Where would you rather the axe head be?
The reports placed
Personally, I would just carry the
It's all
axe.
swamps from here. What's your step, my lord?
Step in the swamp shit.
Anything else?
Okay, now has it updated again? Lost in a fog. Timely accessories. Feeling overwhelmed? Try giving one or more of the 5 timely accessories. For example, the Ring of Timely Strikes allows its wearer to chain complex attack combos only using square. Ring of Timely Focus allows time before an incoming attack. Slows time for an incoming attack, allowing for an extended... Okay, so these are like accessibility things. With all items, timely accessories can be equipped and unequipped on the gear tab in the main menu. Yeah, we haven't looked at the main menu at all, so what does it look like? Main menu, things. Cool, moving on. The bottom right is great. You guys can't see it. Oh, you can. Good. You have little pixel versions of the characters. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Gear. Gear menu. Cool. Got it. Nothing. And then accessories. Timely evasion. Clive will automatically evade attacks as long as the attack can be evaded. Clive will automatically use a potion when his HP falls below a certain point. That's not a bad one to have. Like, all of these are basically for... So, obviously, up until now, Final Fantasy has not been a dexterity game. It's been more of a, like a tactical kind of thing. And they were kind of going that way since 13, really. They've been kind of trying to go a bit more actiony, a bit more active. But this is the first time where they've kind of removed a kind of turn-based waiting thing. Like, even Final Fantasy 15 still kind of had a turn-based cycle going through all the fights. You could only attack so often, you have to wait, and then you could attack again, and you'd have to wait, and so on. So, anyway. Sword. Rosarian Oath. Upon joining the Ducal Army, all future shields receive a longsword that not only serves as their weapon, but represents the oath they take to defend Rosaria and her people. The blade of this particular weapon is approximately a hand shorter than those used by most, making it more suitable for a squire not yet fully grown. Rosarian Belt. Designed more for keeping one's trousers in place than stopping the head of an axe. Those expecting any discernible protection from this basic accessory will be sorely disappointed. Alright, so replace this as soon as you can. Abilities. Okay, these are like our basic abilities. Precision dodge. Lunge, we don't have yet? Do I have any points? I have some points. Yeah, that's Stinger. That's kind of what I was looking for. That's like Helm Splitter. Okay, charge attack. Taunt. Quick recover. Head stomp. Charge attack but for magic. Okay, that's for like just swapping up. Oh, we knew this already. Wait, it says tick to learned. What's the difference between learned and mastered? That's mastered. That's... I don't understand the difference. Anyway. Phoenix Shift. Flames. Everything else is locked. Oh, no. thought that was just going to highlight the recommended abilities. I don't want you to buy them for me. Alright, I do want Stinger. Let's go with this. And I have 25 left. Can I buy anything? What's this? Charge tech? No. Waste. Head stomp. Maybe? Quick recover would be good to know, actually. And charge magic. Quick recover. Is it a path
Not
at all?
exactly the most well-maintained path.
And who do you imagine would maintain it? They've all fled from the Blight. It's hard to believe that anyone used to live here. The old village of Stillwind is ahead. Not that there's a lot
Two
left.
entire gill. Incredible. Alright, now which way do we want to go? Can I even go that way? Probably not. Right. Walking into a battle arena. It's got a little bit of Devil May Cry there, alright. That was. Okay, they kinda got the Final Fantasy 15 design to them. Well, let's get to it then. Ah, one each. That'll work. Combos.
With me.
Use triangle after strike. Okay, it's just teaching you now that you can chain your attacks together.
Goblins.
Gobbos.
So the reports were true.
We should press on. There may be
Okay,
more.
what were they looking for? Find anything? Boing. This way. Is there a way to get in here? Strength tonic. Okay, how do I put items in? Let's have sign shortcuts. Okay. A stone skin tonic's already in there. Okay. We'll wait until that's used and we'll put something else in. Thanks.
Welcome to Stillwind.
Have care, my lord.
Bravo.
There's more.
Some enemies will drop gill or items behind their feet, lose gather automatically, don't worry about it. Got it. Alright. Can down stab them too. Cool. Okay, he's a little slow to come out of the lunge, so maybe don't do that into a big group of enemies like I just did. Okay, that's our way, and then there's this way. Potion. Potions, high potions, X potions. See if there's any X potions, or if they're called full potions or something. Necessary. Could have just climbed it, really. Potions. Okay, so if you don't have enough space, it'll just use it. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, because if you pick up something and you don't have enough space for it, typically you will just use the one you have. But it's like, it's a fine shortcut for it. Maybe? It would be nice to know if it's there, though, first. No, because if you don't have, like... If you haven't taken that much damage, you mightn't really want to waste a potion. Just come back for it. I don't know. It's probably a fine middle ground. Keeps the game moving. You're not stopping to drop into the menu to swap things out or whatever.
Watch out, my lord. Some of their number are spell slots.
And what a number. We'll all have our hands full here.
Give him the boot. Ow. Okay, so you can't do magic burst just whenever you want. It's only really after the first attack. Never mind, I'm full of shit. You can do it after the second attack too. Okay. You recover a tiny bit of health also, it seems, after battle. I wonder if that's just a tutorial thing. Can I get up there? No. Alright, where are we going? This way.
We should be nearing
It's
the
like,
old
it's like that
village
kind of thing.
square.
We were full.
It might not be a nest of goblins.
Would have liked to have left that there. A nice option would be if you are full health and you pick up a potion, it just gets converted to gil. Or XP. Rewards you for not being damaged.
Sneaky sods. We're trapped.
They're trapped in here with us.
I'm working on it. He's the leader. But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
It's not a very good.
Care to thin the herd? As if you have to ask.
I don't want you. I want the mage. Where's the mage? Alright, never good. In the bum. Straight in the bum.
And there was one.
Oh, call for reinforcements, I think. What is that? Hobgoblin?
On your feet, Sir Wade.
Here it comes.
Formidable foes. Larger enemies must be faced with caution. They have far more HP than their smaller counterparts and will often use devastating abilities to overwhelm opponents. Use the Blessing of the Phoenix to not only deal considerable damage to these enemies, but also break their wills. Breaking an enemy's will can stagger it, leaving it unable to act and vulnerable to attacks.
Founder, that's a swing and a half. Be ready to move when it winds up for another.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Okay, you gotta wait for that to come back. Okay, it's got splash damage. That's fine. Partial stagger. Enemies will become partially staggered when their will gauge is reduced to 50%, creating a short opening in which combination attacks are easily landed. Hitting them while they're down. Completely reduce an enemy's will gauge will stagger it. Extra damage is dealt when an enemy is fully staggered, increasing with each strike landed up to a maximum of 150%. The total amount of damage dealt during this time is displayed upon the enemy regaining its senses. Okay, I don't know if that's good. I assume it's good. Oh, no. Got all of that. Nope. Got all of that too. Oh, 2,000 on that. Gigas slain. Spoils these things. Leveled. Okay, everything goes. Don't have to pick anything. Happens automatically. Battle rewards. Following important battles, a separate results screen will appear displaying battle performance and rewards. This is kind of coming out of Devil May Cry. Okay, so we've gotten a new thing. First glance, this modest wrist piece might appear as an uncomfortable fit for those cursed with fleshy forearms. Upon further inspection, one will be relieved to discover the band incomplete, affording its wearer a modicum of comfort, be he swine or starveling. Oh, I guess skinny or fat is what they're going for. Do I pick it up or do I just get it? Who's the guy with the horn? The actual horn, not the euphemism. Can't believe we didn't bring any ranged guys. He's by himself.
Come back and fight, you coward! After him, before he summons the rest.
Fear can significantly improve player attributes, but only when equipped via. Okay, so you gotta wear it if you want to actually make any use of it. Mastering existing abilities as well as earning new ones requires ability points. What's the difference between mastering things? Does mastering just make it do more damage? Can I do it twice? What's the difference? Right, so let's put on that Van Brace. Defense has gone up by 10. If we get enough points to get anything new. What did I want? Yeah, Helm Splitter. Want that. We don't have to buy those. So yeah, give me Helm Splitter. It would be nice to get an actual juggle though. How do I do that? How do I launch an enemy? Two of those combined might be interesting. Do I have enough to get all these? 60, 85. No, I don't. Okay, gotta pick one. So I can have charge magic, or sorry, charge attack, and I don't need taunt. Okay. Actually, what does taunt do? Nah, taunt. Alright, we have most of our stuff now. Actually, did we learn anything new? Didn't learn anything about Gygus. Come here, shit.
There he is.
Ah, I can't attack. Right, so you're not allowed to just randomly attack. Or, okay. Interesting. Why wasn't I allowed to attack? I guess I was locked out because they knew that was going to happen. Who knows? Okay, hang on. Before I go any further, are you making me miss anything? No. Alright, another big open area. Come on, guys. Look at the size of this room. He's not by himself. Or he's about to get eaten by something. A Marlboro already? I'm like level 5, come on! Is that what we're calling them?
Warble is far south.
Okay.
Keep clear of its maw.
Yes, very bad, in
That
fact.
thing's breath is worse than its bite.
Bad breath, you might even say. Yep.
That reeks. I said
Ow, ow, ow.
stay away from its mouth. Come on. Let's try.
Where's it going?
Keep moving, boys. There
Your
he
guess
is.
is as good as mine.
Uh oh. Fireball! Fireball! Yeah, boy! Cinematic strike. When the screen flashes blue like this during a pivotal moment in battle, press square before the timer runs out. Okay, quick time event. Staggered again. Sick flip, too.
No! Before it recovers!
Whoa. Okay. Get. And he goes good.
You won't be gone for long.
Crap. Watch out. Again? How many times do I gotta teach you this lesson, old man? Cinematic evasion. When the screen flashes red, you gotta evade. Alright. Just face planted.
Now for the final push, my lord!
Uh-oh.
I think we made it angry.
I'd rather we made it die.
Ah, gross. Uh-oh. Back away, boys. Watch out, Sir Wade. Another level out of it? Nice. Get anything? Splat.
My lord.
Thanks.
This is vodka.
Never thought I'd see it. Not just goblins in Rosaria, but mortals too.
I'll petition His Grace to send a detachment.
It's definitely dead, right?
If we don't stop them here, they'll be at our gates before long.
We should get moving. We don't want to be caught out here after dark.
If we set off now, we can still reach Phoenix Gate before nightfall.
What about second breakfast? It's pretty nuts dropping a fucking Marlboro on you in the very the first boss fight. Does the guy just count as the first boss? Maybe. Phoenix Gate. This aging seaboard citadel not only defends Rosaria from northern raiding parties, but also serves as sacred ground whereupon the duchy's dominant might commune with his or her ancestors and entreat their guidance on the eve of important battles. Many hours later.
Suddenly, thousands of red eyes. No, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. His lordship draws his sword. The goblin chief runs off screaming. Straight down on Marvel's gullet.
More tales! Drink and be merry.
We're dead on the morrow.
Must be gratifying to see your student making such a name for himself.
You haven't touched your leg of something.
The young lord has a bright future ahead of him.
Aye, and one of these nights he may even deign to join us.
He's a bit young for that, no? He's only 15. So you eat with a tuning fork. Okay. Why did we just do that randomly? Also, that went all over his face.
Are you unwell?
No, Father. Just a little tired.
Giant slice of bread.
Has been a long day.
They all like Clive, don't they?
Aye. Your brother will be a
Will
fine
be.
shield.
Come on now. I fucking
We're
beat
all
him out,
very
bro.
proud of him.
Moorball, you insist on calling it.
Father? Why is it that the dominance is always born into our family? It doesn't seem fair.
Well, how do I explain captured power to a child?
And the crystals work their magic through us. You have been blessed, Joshua. Blessed to be a dominant, to wield the power of an icon. Our family has been chosen to share that power with the people. So that is what we must do.
Where is Clive in all this?
Louder, my friends! Louder!
I don't suppose I'll be missed.
Pork.
Poor Jill. She'll be wondering where you've got to. So much for you being a fine hound.
So this is where you've been
Hiding, is it?
What are you doing out here?
I didn't see you at the feast.
Feasts are the only time shields are allowed to take their ease, and I've never really been one for cakes and ale.
It's the vegetables I don't like.
Yep, there's still a mysterious red dot there. Not sure what that's about.
I hear
Yeah,
you
all by
feel
myself.
noble. All the men were singing your praises.
They never used to. When I joined the ranks, everyone thought I was a spoiled little lordling. If I didn't know how to handle a sword, I'd be a laughingstock. The Archduke's firstborn failure. You're the one they really believe in. I'm jealous.
That's not true. They don't believe in me. They believe in the power of the dominant.
My brother the Phoenix, ruler over life and death.
It isn't fair. It should have been you. I don't have what it takes to lead our people. I don't have the strength. But you do.
Every man has his duty. Ours was decided long ago, when our ancestors chose to instate the dominant as the Archduke of Rosaria. All to ensure that whenever our nation stood on a precipice, the Phoenix would rise from the flames to drag us back from the brink. The fate of Rosaria sits on the dominant shoulders. It is your duty to bear that burden.
What about you?
I was born to be your shield. That is why I was given the Phoenix's blessing. To keep our future rulers safe. No matter what. However hard it gets.
We're gonna give you up, kid. And we're gonna let you down.
Thank you, Clive. I know you'll always take care of me.
Before I can do that, you need to take care of yourself. Right?
I should go inside. It's past my bedtime.
Bork.
Good night, Torgal.
Oh, it's a nice night. Sure would suck if we just got randomly attacked. While everyone had their guard down. That would really... How does this helmet work? How can he see anything? Yeah, bullshit.
Supplies from the capital.
Supplies of bombs, maybe. Wow, you didn't check at all. Not that it's his fault. Fucking helmet can't see anything.
You took your time sampling the wares, were ya?
It's a good job the North is full of enterprising traders keen to keep us in wine.
Spare a barrel for the boys and people.
Mort.
What in the...
Maybe you should have actually checked. Chocobo's cold-blooded, didn't give a shit. Why does nobody have a clean sword?
Gateway secured, Captain.
This is clearly the stealth contingent. Fucking party animals outside, can't get any sleep. Yes?
Is that...
Forgive me, my prince. It's me, Wade. You...
Yes, I healed you when a woodpile fell on you or something.
I remember. What is it?
We're under attack. I don't know who they are, but they've set light to half the
Wade,
castle.
are you a turncoat?
I must get you to safety, your highness.
Very well. I'm ready.
We'll find the kid now. Okay.
Follow me, your highness.
Flight of the Fledgling. Does the kid have magic powers? Or, I mean, clearly the kid has magic powers. Can the kid fight? Kinda? Okay. He knows Kuraga.
Are the enemy already inside the castle?
I'm afraid so, your highness. We must hurry.
Pain scream. Read the subtitles.
What was that?
Let's go.
I have to help them. Never. Fire.
Fall back, Your Highness! He's not one of us!
No.
Shit.
I must do my duty.
Okay, the range on this is not great. I think this is we're luring us into a false sensor, giving the kid XP and what have you.
I saw them at the feast. They were laughing.
This is Sabra Garb. Why would...
It's not even the Iron Legion or the Iron Brigade or whoever the hell it's supposed to be. Who are they? Holy Empire, of course. Square Enix like hates religion for some reason. It's always the church or the enemies. The Holy Empire of San Braquel, a nation occupying the northeastern reaches of the continent of Storm, with the great city of Orlefam as its capital. San Braquel is this realm's largest theocracy and home of the Mother Crystal Drake's Head. Under the rule of the Holy Emperor, the people of San Braquel enjoy a life of plenty thanks to the crystal's blessing, which they believe to be a gift from the goddess Gregor herself. Josh, second son of the Archduke of Rosaria, Joshua was appointed heir to the ducal throne by virtue of his awakening as the dominant of the Phoenix. His love and admiration for his elder brother Clive is absolute, and he's only too proud to have him serve as his first shield. His love for carrots, less so. Sir Wade, I assume, has not had any updates. No, he's the same. Phoenix Gate. A walled keep situated near Rosaria's northwestern border. It was originally constructed to serve as an outpost in the wars against the northern territories, but its true significance lies deep within the ruins atop which the stronghold stands. Here, in an ancient chamber accessible only to the dominant of fire, is held the rite of ancestral communion, an important ritual in which it is believed that the Phoenix can hear the words of the duchy's forebears. Fucking hallucinations. Alright, Wade. Don't die now. You survived the fight with the Moorball, you don't have to die.
Take him!
Takes a lot out of the kid. Shit, Imperial Legionnaire. Oh man, kill stealing! Fucking kill stealing through Wade.
Damn it, the bastards are everywhere.
Why did the Empire do this? There are
Clearly not anymore. Something has changed. Okay, left or right? Okay, that's progress, so let's go this way. You can't go any further. Alright. Out of the way, Wade. Why do I even have the sword? I'm not even using it. You ain't got shit, champ.
I have the dominant.
Oh no, sir, other guy. Fuck, what was his name? Yeah, him. We know Kiraga, you know. We do know Kiraga. Don't worry about that. I'll fix it.
Damn it! His wounds are deep.
I can save him.
Shut up.
Your Highness,
Don't worry. You're going to be all right.
No, you're gonna die, aren't you?
I'll hold them off.
You gonna play Sir Wade now instead? Ugh, don't kill me. Kill my character. Don't stop healing me. Hey kid, come back here. You were healing me. I'm only half healed.
Come here. Tyler, your
It's not as bad as it looks anymore.
I'll survive. Thanks to His Highness.
shit. Oh, no, they're still alive.
Your
Good.
Grace.
Although I
Lord
doubt
Murdoch.
Daddy is long for this world.
You rescued the young prince. Well done, Sir Wade.
I am in your debt, soldier.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Well, we're all fucking stuck here now.
We cannot stay here. We should make straight for the rear gate.
Why don't we make straight for the one place the Dominant can go that nobody else can? It's gonna be pretty fucking safe there. Daddy? Messenger owl?
Omia lost Alan, Tuisa Gelif. May the winds speed
what the fuck
you
is
to
that
Rosalie.
thing? Find them and destroy them.
The north gate's up ahead. There are chocobos in the stables. Father, take Joshua and get to safety.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's what
going
I'm doing.
without you. You're supposed to be my shield, remember?
I remember, which is why I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
I will order our remaining forces to rally at the gate. Now go.
Makes you feel any better,
I will
kid.
do my
You die in
duty.
the trailer, so.
You must do your duty too.
I clearly don't do this job very well. Also, I appear to be branded 10 years from now, so clearly things didn't go our way here.
You have to keep Father safe. I'm counting on you, Joshua.
Part of Go to the Chocobo did you not get? Enough of that. Let's get to business. Alright, back as Clive. So what way are we going? Right, yes, that way, but what's this way? Door we can't open. Alright, let's go. Lord Rodney. Hey, it's the lads. Oh, I don't think so. Astrologer? Astrologer? Something? Pentakill.
Everyone's dead.
No, we're not going that way. More items.
Damn it all.
Oh, the Heich potion was used too. How can these guys see anything? Captain! Has nobody heard of a shield?
Take them.
None shall pass.
Let none escape.
As you command.
That's the plan.
You take care of that spellcaster.
Alright, he's done.
I'll keep the others occupied.
Now what? No, not the captain. Oh, the captain's by himself now. a chance, did you? Maybe. Are you gonna betray
That's
me?
them done. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's my father and Joshua I'm worried about. We should head back.
Oh no. A fucking dragoon, great.
Clive, look out!
I know that voice.
May I have this dance?
He's an Imperial Dragoon.
And you are the shield who was blessed by the Phoenix. Not that it will save you.
First jump. Yep, that's a dragoon, alright.
Stay still, damn you!
Oh, I don't have to hold L1. I thought I had to hold L1 to lock her. Dragoons are so fucking cool, man. That was the wrong button.
He's open!
Yep, I pressed the wrong button there, kids.
Clive!
Double jump.
Rosaria, worm! This dance is over!
I was afraid.
Getting away from that's kind of tough.
Your time is past!
Let's try. Not quite. Need no more. Let's try.
He was a cool fight. I'm kind of pissed I missed. Dodge by mistake.
Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
So, they sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Not yet. Their numbers were too few. They were not here to take the castle.
A head?
They were here to take heads.
Maybe two.
Our work is done. We should return to my father.
My lord, look. We issued these sashes but yesterday. In Rosary.
Among us.
If they were already among us, what if there were others?
Father and Joshua are in danger.
We must
No, some of our knights are sus. Rodney? What? Fuck you? Why did you mouth fuck you to me? That's not very nice. Can I learn something about the Dragoons? No. Boo. The Ducal Army, the loyal soldiery of the Duchy of Rosaria. They serve under the Standing Army's Lord Commander, whose task is to enact the will of their sovereign, the Archduke. Those who show sufficient aptitude or who are blessed with sufficient nobility of birth are made shields, personal retainers to the Archduke himself. And speaking of the Archduke, Elwyn Rossfield, Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua. Elwyn was born before his father... Elwyn was born before his father, the previous dominant of the Phoenix, passed away, so he did not inherit the Ekon's powers. Instead, he devoted himself to the study of swordcraft and statesmanship, that he might lead his country from the front, which he did to wide acclaim in leading his armies and quelling the rebellious northern territories. Like, how are you meant to be born to a dominant and then also inherit it? It must have to skip a generation, like, just by virtue of your dad still being alive when you're born.
Oh, you're right. Thank goodness.
It's not clear yet if the Phoenix can also be female.
Your
Or
Grace,
dominant
is
of the
everyone
Phoenix.
safe?
For the moment. We ride for Rosalith to rally our forces. I will need your help to see Joshua safely back to the capital. On you get, Joshua.
Killing chocobos.
Father?
Oh, they killed the fucking owl too.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but that won't be possible.
You honorless snakes!
Oh.
Run, Joshua, run! No!
I think you got starked, alright.
Traitors!
Your Highness!
You must do your duty too.
Well, you fucked that up, huh?
You have to keep Father safe.
I had to.
When you're ready, kid.
Clive,
I'm counting on you, Joshua.
Liz probably should have killed the kid a bit faster.
Fuck.
Kill him! Now!
Phoenix.
Nice. Everybody there is dead.
The Phoenix! Joshua!
Uh-oh.
Lord Murdoch! His Highness! Joshua! Stop this!
He's lost control. I have to do something. I have to save
You're
him.
like the only living one left. Oh shit!
Clive!
Fucking work, Ambrosia.
Thank you, God. You saved my life. Get her on her feet and run. Please. Joshua.
Uh-oh.
Pain. Not now. Come on. You're his shield.
Do your duty!
Save him! My lord?
Okay. It was Baldy Man. The freeze, clearly.
Second icon of fire.
Sorry, Roddy.
That's impossible.
So this is what the intro was all about. This fight. I assume we're on the other side of the fight this time.
Who are you?
Yeah, this is where the game started. Could also explain why he didn't get out of the way. What? Street Fighter? Embodying the Phoenix. The following commands are available when playing as the Phoenix. These things. When your opponent is directly within your sights, the targeting circle will expand. That is the time to fire. Okay. Alright, so it's not gonna auto target for you anymore. Kinda. It still has a bit of lock onto it. I still got hit. I don't understand how I still got hit, but okay. Yeah, that's the two towers, alright. I guess it would explain why only the Phoenix can get here. It's basically impossible for anyone to survive that attack. It's too late for that kid. Everyone's fucking dead in the castle. Where'd he go? There he is! Shit! No stagger meter for icons. Econs, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Fuck. If you find yourself low on HP, use circle to cast the spell Flames Rebirth and restore all health. Yep, it is a phoenix. Phoenix cheats. Where are you? There you are. Okay, where are you now? There you are. You're attacking your brother.
I made a promise to my brother. And I mean to keep it.
You know, we are attacking Ifrit with fire. I can't imagine that's gonna do much.
I will do my duty.
A limit break. Lost track of him. Hellfire! Yep, here it comes. They're calling it damnation instead. There it is. Bonk.
My flames may flicker, but they shall never die.
Only 50 experience for killing a fucking demigod or whatever. Avatar. Hey, what's up? Fucking splat. Uh-oh. Oh, playing possum. Nom, 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 nom.
Toggle?
he? These guys coming in like, okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. Like, well, this was easy.
Quite a mess that monster made. Damn shame about the Phoenix, but can't be helped. Oh, my condolences, Your Grace. Is there aught we can do?
Haven't you done enough, Captain? Joshua was my world, and now he is gone. I can only pray there will be a place for me in the world his radiance seeks to create.
I see.
Oh, yeah, okay. I can see why we ended up being branded now.
Over here. The rubble must have protected him from the worst of the flames. Shall we take him prisoner?
Oh, no need for that. Kill him. Wait. As my husband never tired of telling me, he is a fine soldier.
Thanks.
I'm sure he would make an excellent addition to the Imperial front line. All in its right place.
Okay.
Take this one. Chin up, lad. You're going to be a soldier.
Joshua.
Oh, let's try the drop. So, I guess that's the end of the Phoenix in general. Like, the bloodline's over, right? Dad's dead, kid's dead. We're Ifrit, I think. Although, I don't get how I was able to see the fight. I don't get what's going on. How am I able to see the fight, but not from Ifrit's point of view?
Sorry. What's our situation? Let's just say Shiva and Titan's little spat hasn't made things any easier.
Yeah, that's our lad. Squished.
And? It's as you thought. The Crusaders have sounded the retreat.
Then we follow.
We're down a man, Sergeant.
If we return without Shiva's head, our fate will be no different from Biast's. I'll take my chances with the Iron Blood. At least then I might die fighting.
Thanks.
After you do, that is.
I guess it explains why we don't have the same armor.
I won't be dying.
Because we're somewhat not kind of part of the army, but
Then
also
it's
not
settled.
part of the army.
No dying. Now, if you don't mind, we have an army to chase.
New iconic abilities. The iconic abilities Scarlet Cyclone and Heatwave for the Phoenix are now available for acquisition and upgrade on the abilities tab in the main menu. Do not forget that once acquired, new abilities must be equipped. For fuck's sake. Are we...
How do they expect us to kill something that can do this?
What's that? R2 and triangle? Is that? We still have that kind of uppercut move. You can only have one at a time? Or two at a time, rather? There's... Remove icon is an option. So I'm guessing we can swap between them? Can we swap between being Phoenix and Ifrit? And maybe a third one? It's possible there's room for a third one, but it might be a bit squished. It does look like one and then two. And who the fuck else would there be? Because Titan, there's no other Earth. Water, you could potentially say water and ice are equivalent enough, so Shiva and Leviathan could potentially work together. Maybe they do Earth and Lightning, I don't know. Rama and Titan. Garuda and Rama would make more sense, Wind and Lightning. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck Titan would match with. Probably nobody. He's probably not an option, he's not a party member. I think we have a Shiva as our party member at some point. To be honest, I don't know. Anyway.
Don't. Only the girl holding its leash.
Trails are gone. It'll be hell finding a way out.
Do you think a retreating army and a dominant will fare any better?
Wyvern, a slave soldier of the Holy Empire of San... Now in his 13th year of servitude... Hang on. It was only 10 years ago that we were Clive. Are we not Clive? Though drafted as a frontline infantryman, the magical might granted him by the blessing of the Phoenix quickly saw him promoted to an elite squadron of assassins, where he was assigned the moniker by which he is now known. Their latest mission to descend into Nysa Defile, where bloody battle rages between the Iron Kingdom and the Republic of Dhalmekia, and take the head of Shiva's dominant. The Nysa Defile, a deep arid valley located in the eastern part of the Dhalmekian Republic. During the Battle of the Twin Realms in 865, it was the site of repeated skirmishes as the Iron Kingdom attempted to make incursions into Dhalmekian territory. A branded soldier. Bearers forced to fight for the nations that enslaved them, able to cast powerful magics, yet entirely disposable. They are often placed on the front lines in battle or assigned to highly dangerous scouting or assassination missions. I don't get how they're managing to keep bearers in line. Like, I order you to the most dangerous mission. No. Goodbye. Explosion. Like, the bastards. Brilliant. A unit of Imperial Army assassins tasked with taking the head of the Iron Kingdom's dominant. Warden of Ice and vessel for the Ekon Shiva. All of its members, including its leader Tiamat, are bearers, branded men pressed into servitude for their ability to wield magic. It's interesting he's named Tiamat, considering Tiamat is female. Titan, the Warden of Earth, of whom Hugo Kupka is the current dominant. He takes the form of a stone-skinned giant whose granite fists shake the earth with every mighty pummel. Titan's dominant awakens among the people of the Dhalmekian deserts, the recipient of his strength being granted great power and status by the Republic in return for a commitment to protect the nation in times of war. Shiva, the Warden of Ice, whose appearance on the battlefield makes her enemy's blood run cold. The Iron Blood sent Shiva against the Republican forces in the Nysa Defile, where she dueled against Titan, the Ekon of Earth. Still don't know who won.
By the flames.
Hey, where'd you guys go? I wasn't reading lore for that long. Ooh, blood. Anytime I see Titan, I'm mostly reminded of the Final Fantasy 15 fight. Just amazing set piece.
Did you hear that?
He's in the middle there.
Down there. So, Titan has knocked the fight out of our Ironblood friends. Where are the rest of them? That can't be the main host.
Wait.
Ingwat! Bedra!
Our fortunes have turned, Sergeant. It's her.
The Dominant? Are you certain?
The Crystalline Orthodox is a backwards faith for a backwards people. In the Iron Kingdom, they teach that Dominants are unclean aberrations, born of blackest sin. Only their priests are allowed to perform the rites of priming. And I
What?
seem...
Hang on, I'm not sure I feel great about killing a prisoner.
This quickly.
Schweinsgott! Adion in hier, Sagarid!
Wait, is that Jill?
Please.
Data! Must be Isla! What Alvation now, King? Alad Scully asked.
Am I not gonna recognize her?
Avis! Care to kill some
No,
Ironblood?
I'm busy.
Gladly. White, you focus on the target.
Understood.
Ouch. Yeah, I really gotta stop trying to dodge with that. Or dodge at all, really. Alright.
I'm in your debt.
Be gone!
Not this time. Too slow.
Don't get hit.
Orders, Sergeant! Stop talking and move! Fucking icons.
Ouch. Ouch.
Icon? She's not even fully primed.
Just what I needed.
missed about that. Snipe. Does it have to be a melee attack? It has to be a melee attack.
Lost.
Yeah, frozen tear material. And as she fought, she shed tears of ice, which shattered on the bloodstained earth below. The Mechian soldiers' account of the Battle of Nysa, Year of the Realm 873. Potions, curative infusions of common herbs found growing throughout Valestea. Potions are administered to most frontline soldiers as an inexpensive and less dramatic alternative to the Barber's Blade. High Potion. Potent infusions of common herbs found growing through. High potions are administered to seriously injured frontline soldiers when infirmary treatment is impractical. And Steel Silk. A rare case in which hyperbole has played no role in this item's nomenclature. Steel silk is every bit as strong as steel, yet soft as silk, making it a popular choice for tailors tasked with crafting durable armor that does not hinder movement. And the boys. Yep, we're just not going to recognize her.
Is she dead?
I don't think so.
Well, what are you waiting for?
He has recognized her.
No, that's...
Not you.
Not here.
Oh!
I'll bloody do it then.
Fudge.
Fuck.
Got our chance. I can see that.
We've got company, Wyvern.
Well, they're not gonna kill us while we have her.
What the hell are you doing?
Lord Ohilda Vendra!
Get your ass over here and help me with these bastards!
Sorry, Jill.
Nothing. I'm fine.
What is wrong with you, Wyvern?
Dominant. I know her.
Know her? Look around you! Do you think any of these animals care? I need you here!
Okay, where am I getting these fucking powers from? Okay.
It's over. Stay down.
Now that that's done,
We're gonna have to fight each other then, champ.
ask you again, Wyvern. Take her head so we can be done with this.
I can't.
Yeah, they did it first.
I won't.
You would betray the Holy Empire?
Betray? I don't recall ever pledging allegiance to your Emperor. My service may have been bought with this brand, but not my loyalty. I just fight to survive.
And you think I don't?
Every time.
The Empire will have our heads if we return empty-handed. So if you won't take hers, I'll have to take yours.
I told you, Sergeant. I'm not dying here today. And neither is she.
Let's find out.
close, though. Not this time.
Wyvern! Have you forgotten who plucked
Hey,
you from the front
you
line?
started the fight, champ.
Who trained you? Who gave you a name when you had none?
You speak as if we don't bear the same brand, Sergeant. I've always had a name, and I've not forgotten it.
Still clinging to the past like a torn blanket. Then you will die, as you should have 13 years ago.
Sure, it's gonna happen.
No one, and I will not fall by your hand.
Bested, not defeated.
Traitor's blade.
We're right. To most, this nondescript lump of rough-hewn stone is but a nuisance upon which to stub one's toe. To the blacksmith, however, it is much, much more, for the metal contained within may be fashioned into inexpensive, yet durable gear favoured by warriors across the realm. And meteorite. Just as drops of molten iron fall from a smith's oven to the floor to cool, so too do they fall from the celestial foundry where the gods forged their divine instruments of war, or so it is believed. We call these otherworldly outcastings meteorites. Okay then. Running would be a good idea. Didn't even have time to clean the sword off. When were these guys like? They seem, I don't know, ill. What's the word? I don't know. I don't need to think of the word right now. Well, there's Rama's dominance. Disciplined. They're ill-disciplined. That's what I went. That's what I was trying to do. Torgal? Are you Rama's dominant? Sure, it's this guy. Sid!
This way.
I know that voice too.
Bloody wind. Well, come on then.
What the fuck are we doing, Clive?
Fuck. Fuck.
Hugo, dear, my proud desert lion. Would that you had taken care when chasing the hare. I expected more from the mighty Titan. We put the Ice Queen on our back. No doubt. But you'll have to work harder if you're to claim this prize.
My lady, the thunder.
We'll be hearing more soon enough. You always were a fucking snake, Sid. Gather the men. We have work to do.
Sid a party member? No, I was gonna say, is that the first time he's... No, of course, the Final Fantasy VII is when...
Jill. Is it really you?
Work.
And who's this fine hound I see before me?
A fine hound who saved your life, that's who.
Torgal.
Aye?
His name is Torgal.
You two acquainted? Well then, you won't mind taking him off my hands.
I had one of those too.
Funny. I'd always pictured you as more the chocobo type. Clive Rosfield. Come now. Fleet as flame, fierce as a wildfire. That there was the blessing of the Phoenix. I'd heard rumors that you'd survived, but I never paid them much heed. Calm down. I didn't come all this way for your handsome mug. Now her, on the other hand, she seemed worth muddying my boots for. None the worse for wear.
That's a big boy.
Still, might be best to get a second opinion. Back her up.
Not another step. I mean it.
Well, I'm not about to leave her here. With a warm bed waiting. It's all right. You're welcome to join us. You do want to help her, don't you?
Sid, if we aren't back soon, Nan'll have our heads.
Work.
I'll explain everything once we're back at the hideaway. Come on.
What are the chains about? Well, there's the old house. Okay. Minas Tirith looking thing. There's another crystal. Zoom around for a bit. There's another crystal. This used to be a crystal. Hideaway's right smack in the middle, isn't it? Okay, there's just a hole in the earth there. Then there's a small island over there. There's another crystal here. Alright, that's our one. Okay, so what is it then? Fire. We're here, so this must be the Earth crystal. Maybe lightning. I'm feeling that one's lightning. That's ice. Maybe. Possibly wind. I guess it's a mix of whichever one of these it is. Okay, anyway. The Hideaway, Central Storm Deadlands. The withered remnants of a once verdant valley, long consumed by the blight. One would have to be either extremely foolish or extremely desperate, or an extremely desperate fool, to make this wasteland their home. Well, that's us.
Not much further now.
But we're in the middle of the Deadlands.
Keen eye, you. The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic. But it also means no neighbors.
Okay, but what do we do for, like, food and water, visions? A hole in the ground. Awesome.
Home sweet home.
How am I gonna feed Torgal? Look, he's a big boy. What is cutscene to gameplay ratio so far? Right now, it's a bit heavy on the cutscenes. Talking 60. There's a fucking Moogle. 60%, 40%. When I go, it's actually probably more than that. 70-30.
This place.
On the other hand, it is like the start of the game.
Well, we didn't think they'd mind. And it keeps the black from our lungs.
But how do you survive?
It's also Final Fantasy.
How does anyone? Hard work and a bit of else. You must be starving. We grow them here, believe it or not.
Game audio is off sync.
Sick.
You're back.
Ah, Talia.
And this is the Dominant.
Out cold since we found her. I was hoping you might give her a look
Alright,
over.
hang on. Maybe I'll try to fix that.
All right. Goots, get her upstairs.
Alright, that's kind of the best I can do is just kind of turn the Elgato off and on. Maybe it'll work.
But none will... Don't fret about Karen. I've taken care of her fee.
All of it?
She's the best healer this side of the belt. You've nothing to
They bring problems. No, you only make me aware of them.
Have a look
You
around.
didn't say anything I wouldn't know. I would have no idea. Hideaway. Pressing this opens a detailed map of your current area. Main scenario destinations are marked with the big exclamation thing. The Fat Chocobo is the local pub, I guess. Not allowed in the infirmary. Sid's Solar. He has a solar. Well, let's have a snoop.
Still hungry, are you?
Cantankerous Crone. Or Orc. Look. Right.
Another newcomer.
Yep, that's
You
me.
mind the rules around here, or our next chat will be through the bars.
Hey. Ah, the Void. I love the Void. Where'd Torgo go?
The
washroom floor's all mended then?
It'll hold.
Ah, there you are. Buddy. Pet the dog. No.
I suppose I'll be needing a new sword.
Sid once told me, the blight doesn't kill the land, it only makes her forget who she once was. She'll eventually remember her purpose. All she needs is a little reminding.
Right, let's check out the fat chocobo then. He's also upstairs.
You reckon he's a soldier then?
Be surprised if he wasn't. The smell of war is thick about him.
What does war smell like? Your finest ales, my good man. Not allowed to order anything.
If you can read, don't let Otto know. We'll put you to work on the ledgers too.
I think he'd have time for a nip with old
I'm
August before
cursed with
scampering back to
literacy.
Zola, but no.
What's this? Jukebox. Play Freebird.
When lightning struck, his yoke did break, his life his own again. With thunder's roll, he knew his fate and would fight it to the end.
Sick.
Well, what do you think? I woke this morn inspired.
Get some more inspiration.
Careful, you. I've spent the whole morning on these steps.
What do you want me to do? Never step on them, ever. Right, that just leads back out. Okay. Alright, back to cutscenes. He's got one of those creepy owls too.
Just working on a pet project of mine. Though she's not above biting the hand that feeds her.
Casting couch?
Alright. I was hoping we might try and solve the mystery of poor Clive Rossfield. A bearer of the Sambrequois Imperial Army sent behind enemy lines. With orders to wait until it turned into a brawl, then slit the dominant's throat in the chaos.
You're well informed.
I didn't know it was her. How could it be?
And so, to save her neck, you slit your sergeants, then set your sights on the hills. Conveniently forgetting how the Empire deals with deserters. Because with that on your chop, my friend, we both know you won't be getting far. You've fallen a long way, Lord Rossfield. I'll not have it said that I'm a poor host.
What do you mean to do with her?
Do with her? Why, nothing. Her life is her own now. If I wanted to use her, do you think I'd be talking to you? All I want to do is help. Dominants like her, branded like you. Of course, the realm doesn't approve.
What's in it for you, though?
Which is why we live in a cave. And it's also why we need help. From branded who know one end of a sword from the other. What say you, Clive? Will you join us?
They brand my face. Wouldn't that just ruin like incredible scarring? Like it wouldn't even leave a mark. Just incredible infection.
Sid, was it? I trust that you'll do right by Jill. But until my brother is avenged, I must walk my own path.
avenged.
My brother was murdered by a second dominant of fire.
The Phoenix's evil twin. Well, bugger me. Another rumor proven true.
I only stand here today because of Joshua.
I kind of think
13
we're
years
him.
I've waited for this chance. I've slept in filth, drunk from a gutter, killed more men than I can count. You're right. The Empire will not suffer a deserter. This will be my best opportunity. My last.
Which is why you should join us.
I told you I'm not
interested, I know. One of my scouts sent word there's a group of branded fugitives north of here, in the Imperial village of Lostwing. Among them is one he believes to be a dominant of fire.
Impossible.
Certain.
Oh, you
What
barely
say we
smoked
go
that
ask
at
him?
all. We.
This doesn't mean I'm joining you.
It's very Cloud Strife of you, Clive.
Let's make ready then. You'll find everything you need down in the main hall, as well as a few things you don't. Have fun.
Alright, now can we pet Torgal?
The dominant needs her rest. I'll see she's not disturbed.
Fine. Where'd Torgal go?
He's in... Oh no.
I'm not going to attack you this
Goots
time.
was it? Perhaps you can help. Sid asked me to make ready for our mission. How does one go about that here?
Well, there's old Nan's place. On second thoughts, you maybe want to see Blackthorn first.
He didn't seem too happy to see me last time.
A blacksmith. To the forge it is then.
No, to the dog it is. Where is our dog?
Oh wait, no, hold up. You'll be needing this. Blackthorn won't take no notice of you otherwise. Might not anyway.
What have you given me? Continental rum. Oh, I need to bribe him with alcohol. Torgal, where have you gone?
I'm not going back to that life. Ever.
You hear me?
I was a dog.
And how did you like
Where
this stew?
would I go?
Chasing
I'd either go
roots
to
is
the
already
food,
some-
in which case I'd be here, or I would go somewhere warm. It's not with the food, so maybe he went somewhere warm, which means the forge. Yep, there he is. Hey, buddy. Still can't pet the dog. Alright, hang on. I know there's a pet the dog
Fancy
button,
a mug
just
of
don't know what
Kenneth
it is.
Coldest when we're done.
As tight as shit boulders.
Are you Blackthorn?
What
Perhaps.
if I am? There's no time for idle chatter.
Time for a
I'm not
drink?
here to talk. I'll be accompanying Sid to Lostwing and I need you to see to my equipment.
You could be accompanying the goddess Krieger to our holy bedchamber for all I care.
Hopefully I shouldn't need equipment for that.
Is that so?
Someone else will have to drink this then. Continental rum. A noisome spirit better suited to stripping oil from a painter's canvas than consumption. Shit. Grants overworked conscripts a few rare moments of sweet oblivion on their long, arduous sea journeys north from the continent.
Do you want that or not? I can take it back.
Damn you, Goots. All right. No need to be hasty. Let's have a look at you.
Paul bastard, aren't you?
I doubt that lot could stay a Moogle's fart. Bloody Imperials. They'd rather see their bearers dead than kitted out properly. I'll do what I can, as a favor to Goot's mind.
Forging. The crafting of new gear as well as the upgrading of existing gear can be done at a blacksmith, as long as you have the recipe and the proper materials, and a bribe, apparently. Select the highlighted item from the list and hold the button. Alright, pretty standard stuff. Can make my belt a little better. More leathers and iron, it is nonetheless considered an improvement from the crude cording worn by Ackerman? Ackerman? Ackerman. What are they? Are they just like shit infantry? is that what an Ackerman is? Ackerman. The leader of the plough team on a medieval English manor. Okay. Not sure what it has to do with military. Okay. The leader of a plough team in ye olde medieval time. Fair enough.
And the belt, Caesar Square. You want anything else, you bring your own materials.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you.
The belt is what you went
word
with.
of advice.
Not
Don't let Sid decide what's best.
armor, pauldrons, greaves, a helmet, a fucking belt. When something has changed in the hideaway, a notice will appear in the upper right hand corner of the screen. In addition to stock updates for Charon's Toll. Charon's Toll, that's a hell of a name for a shop. And new forging recipes for the Black Hammer. There are also notices for new quests, new missives, and many other things. Alright, I guess this is like our hub, which would make sense because it is smack in the middle of the map. This thing icon will also appear in-game as well as on the local map to indicate recent updates.
I suppose I should thank Goots.
I guess he has recent updates.
Lacey, I'm busy here. So, what'll it be?
Okay, so I could improve the sword, but I would need more wearite. I have enough frozen tier. Need more of that. Bracers. Bracers can go up though. I would rather hang on to it. The broadsword. Okay, the iron belt can be reinforced. Wait, do I not have a broadsword? No. Huh? Do I not? Okay, whatever.
That it? Fine.
Hey, pork.
Fancy a mug of Kenneth's coldest when we're done?
Pet the dog.
Boulders.
I'm pressing all the buttons. I'm not allowed to pet the dog. Alright, Goots. Apparently that's how you pronounce that name.
The gift worked. You have my thanks.
Come on, nearly there.
Lads. Hey, it's that guy we helped out. I think, maybe, possibly. Although it does seem he maybe never changed his clothes.
Blankets, quick as you like. Right, we make him comfortable while the bed's made up. Well, you just gonna stand there? Someone fetch some water.
I'll get the bucket. You go and see if Otto needs out, eh?
Oops. Who's Otto?
Wait, me?
But I'm a surly newcomer who's not ready to join this found family.
What the hell have I got myself into?
Otto, is it? Curmudgeon is his name. He's dressed the exact same as that other guy. But he would be like 13 years older.
Huh? They're freed Imperial bearers. Who the hell
Look
are you?
at me. Who do you think I am?
Shit, at this rate, he won't make it through the night.
Think you can find your way up them stairs to the infirmary? We need Tyre. Well, go on. Shift your ass.
I'm certain you could also find your way up those stairs, but okay.
Was Tyre the one looking after Jill?
Ah, if she leaves the infirmary, then I can check on Jill. Madam. Oh my.
Your friend needs her rest. There'll be time for tearful.
Send the stranger who's just arrived, carries a big
I'm not here
fuck
for
off
Jill.
sword on his back.
You're wanted downstairs. There are injured bearers in need of attention.
Well, why didn't you say so?
I was about to.
I did say so.
Clive, you fool! You could have snuck in. Sneaked. Snugged. Good job. What did you do? Just gave him a slap.
He's going to be all right. But I'll need to examine them both in the infirmary.
She's Irish.
My work's just begun.
She's got a little bit of that accent. It's there. She's trying not to do it, but it's there. I can hear it. Can't believe they made the Irish character redhead. Fuck's sake.
Another fine day at the hideaway.
Do many of the bearers who come here arrive in this state?
It's no easy thing, casting off your chains. By the time most pluck up the courage, they're already too far gone. These two here are the lucky ones. The name's Otto. You need anything? You ask me.
Goots.
Well, Otto, I do need some supplies.
Do you now? Then Lady Karen over there will be more than happy to help.
I don't want to give Charon any money. It
Right.
seems like a bad idea.
Oh.
Or at least, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it once.
Not
Hopefully
likely.
only once.
I won't be staying.
Is that right? Well, for as long as you are here, consider yourself welcome. You helped us today. And we won't
What a
forget
huge
it.
help I was. I walked up the stairs and shouted at the doctor. Side quests unlocked. Quests. Keep an eye out for this icon above the heads of certain NPCs. Indicated, yep, just like every RPG you've ever played. After accepting a quest objectives appear in the to-do list. Again, it's like every RPG you've ever played. Quest priority. Any quest can be prioritized. It's tracking. Hideaway features. 1,000 tomes. Yes, it's just a collection of all the lore. We're told now. And the Orchestrion is a jukebox. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Who are these people?
Now, this is a Final Fantasy game. The Orchestrion better have music from like all the other Final Fantasies.
Do you think we should go and help? It sounds like
Or do we have to collect them? Are they collectibles? Final Fantasy XV's radio did have music from the other Final Fantasies that you could play. And Final Fantasy XIV does as well, but they're things you need to like find and craft or buy out in the world. It's difficult to get the whole collection. Changing the tune. Background music played in the hideaway can be changed. Doing things. Yeah, okay. Alright, it looks like it is music from the game. That's a shame. I don't know. Maybe it's a DLC thing and you'll be able to buy them or whatever. Alright, Charon. I'm not ready to die, just so we're clear.
I need supplies for my journey to Lost Wing. Otto said you could provide them.
What's that? Does the newcomer think it proper to make demands of a poor old matron before even introducing
You're
himself?
a shop. Do you introduce yourself to every
It's Clive.
shopkeeper you come across?
Well, Clive, I hear that dog is yours. Since he
Torgal
followed
is his
Sidon,
own
you
dog.
might have seen to it that his chin's rubbed and his belly fed. Though I suppose that's your job now. Unless you lose him again.
I won't. Not again. Thank you for watching him.
So, were you gonna buy something?
Why?
What? You didn't think I'd shower your lordship with my hard-won wares while you swagger about with a pocket full of gil?
Full is a bit generous.
Life doesn't work that way, lad. Now, let's see some
Very
coin.
charitable. Chops. Buy shit. Makes sense. Okay, I didn't own a broadsword. Fair enough. Seems like a no-brainer. How much money do I have? I don't have a lot. I can literally just afford this, and that's probably it. Racers. Would be better than what I've got. And these things, but I'm like maxed out on them. I can sell some shit. Am I wearing this? No. So I can probably sell that. Okay. And you can't sell the accessories that make the game easier. Alright, well, this makes sense. Let's get that.
It'd better all be here.
That's all.
Why, you've barely a guilty name.
Yeah, thanks to you. Hey.
You're taking his side now. And after all I've done for you. All right. All right, I can make an exception. But just this once, mind. My stores are getting cluttered and I need to make room for the next shipment.
Thank you.
Thank me? Thank your dog.
Is she going to unlock the ability to pet the dog? Collect the supplies. How much of this is going to be stuff I am maxed out on? Retrieve sacks. Turns out it's a bomb. Ow. Artstone is now. Okay, this is. Okay, no, I thought it was going to be fast travel, but it's not. It's like a training room? This customizable virtual battlescape provides Clive a safe location to test out new abilities and train against all manner of enemies. Additional options will become available as Clive progresses through the story. Okay. It's the training room. Again, DMC type things. Commence training, sure. Training! Do the things. Press the button to adjust enemy and things. Right. Can make myself invincible. Regen. Enemies will attack. Enemies are invincible. Give myself enemies to fight. It's funny that you can't add... Can't add, like, the soldiers we just fought. Anyway. So, I mean, Devil May Cry 5 had this kind of stuff. It's also got the combo, or the controller display on the right. Can you guys see that? Yeah, over my head. How does the timing on Burning Blade work? But you can chain it with the combo.
Stay down.
How do I launch enemies? That's what I want to know. Launching an ability. something you learn later. Also, what was in the sacks?
You all done?
Perhaps. Yep, something I already had too much.
Leaving already, are ya?
It's you I'll miss the most, Lady Karen. It always is.
Don't stop you going, does it?
This should be fun.
Right.
Pet the dog. Pet the dog. Ah, damn it. Fast travel. Use the world map to instantly travel. Yeah. Pet. Not pet. 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 Damn it. We'll find out how to pet the dog.
There's a good girl. Hungry, are you?
Rose. Sleeping. Where we go? There. Makes sense. The Great Wood. So deep and vast is the Great Wood, it serves as a defensive barrier between the Crystal Belt and the Holy Empire, while its denizens deter foolhardy travelers from exploring the forest's everlasting night. Ooh. Lasting Night reminds me of the forest in Final Fantasy IX. The Evil Forest, as it's called in Final Fantasy IX. I mean, way to name a place. Okay. However, I am going to leave it here for today. So, I had been trying to decide whether or not we were going to do a full Let's Play of this, or just leave it as just part of the Foley Plays Games a Bit series. I'm really liking it though, so we are going to make this a full Let's Play. So expect to see Final Fantasy XVI show up in the schedule in the next while. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Thanks Doom Training for dropping in and also pointing out the audio issue. I don't know how, because I can't tell, obviously, on my end, if the audio has gone out of sync. So I'm not really sure how to combat that, other than turning the Elgato on and off every hour or something. Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna head off. Tomorrow was going to be co-op with Melwyn, but her flight has been delayed, so yeah, her flight has been delayed, so we're probably gonna do something else instead. I don't know what, but something. Pretty cool looking game. Yeah. I'm playing it specifically in performance mode, as I usually do, but it looks pretty good on graphics mode as well. Or fidelity mode, I think is what they call it. Anyway, we'll do something tomorrow. We didn't actually play Diablo this week, so we might do Diablo instead. Fixed it cycling the Elgato. Okay, good. So that does fix it. Yeah. I don't know. Do I just take a moment to fix it every hour, every 30 minutes, every 10 minutes? Just constantly turning it on and off. I don't know. Guess there's a moment you can do it. Anyway, yeah, we might do Diablo tomorrow, or we might do... There are a handful of Steam Next Fest demos that are available on PlayStation as well. Might do that. Because some of them Steam Deck won't be able to handle. Like Lies of P won't be able to handle that. I could play it on the PlayStation instead. I don't know. I'll come up with something. Anyway, Sunday we'll have the weekly news recap. We talk about stuff from the Nintendo Switch Direct this week, as well as a bunch of other bullshit that's happening in the video game industry. Microsoft, Activision, and the FTC had the first part of their hearing this week as well, so some interesting information came out of that. Gossip, really, more than anything else, but still, it's interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna head off. Have a good rest of your evening, and see you tomorrow for something, but not a way out. But it'll be something else. Right. Have a good one.